Guys, okay, I cannot be the only one that's like, just what tad, just obsessed with Heated Rivalry. I am not the only one. I cannot be, because I feel like I'm low-key going insane. I don't know what to do with myself. Am I panicking? Am I having like an anxious breakdown attack? What is going on? This show took the world by storm, and I absolutely love it. I don't think I have the words to explain how much this show means to me, just because it conceptualizes everything that I had a very strong, passionate opinion about in the gay community, and I absolutely adore it. I'm in love with it. I think it's great, and I can't wait for season 2. And I can't believe that they're gonna make us wait till 2027 for season 2. That's crazy. What am I supposed to do with myself? Well, I know. I'm gonna analyze every bit of it, and I'm gonna showcase why, in my opinion, I think it's such a gift to the gay community, especially right now in modern times where kind of love isn't emphasized as much. Hookup culture, we have all these different other aspects of a gay experience being highlighted, but not necessarily the fundamental part that has to do with love. And I absolutely love how this show doesn't just take up a stereotype or put anyone into a trope, but captures a more genuine expression, in my opinion, of what the gay experience actually looks like. Okay, so without further ado, and without me watering over literally all the actors, women included, in this TV show, because I think the women were like insane. What the heck?
This is your mom. Call me back.
Let's talk about love. The perception of intimacy. It has been changing over the years in the gay community. We kind of started seeing a shift. No greater example of this can be seen than this show. A show that highlights the complexities of a modern gay love story. It follows the story of two hockey players with a magnetic connection to one another as they overcome the challenges of admitting the complexities of accepting their love for each other. It's a very refreshing story, but I challenge everyone to think about a few questions when you think about gay love. Ask yourself this: what comes to mind? Is it the sexual energies that come with seeing two men have such intense passion? Is it the irony of watching men take a break from their social dynamics or honestly push on them since they're little? Or is it seeing how something different inspires hope for others to reawaken the long-lasting desire for connection regardless of sexual preference? And I think this is exactly why a show like Heated Rivalry takes all these questions and makes a strong, powerful statement. Not just a stereotype. It's a complex story of what real gay love can look like. You know, I think me especially, when I was younger, I almost have like these examples of what love could be defined in my eyes. You know, I did my best to follow material that I was digesting at the time. It was mostly straight orientated, and I tried to really apply everything I was seeing that I can identify with love to my own experiences. But honestly, it was like trying to make a circle fit into a square. It just didn't feel right, and it didn't work out. I was trying to understand through my lens why I felt the way I did about my same-sex peers. This is why Heated Rivalry shows us this. You know, it captivates a sense of freedom and exploring the vulnerable sides of accepting intimate feelings. But I personally hated gay stories growing up. You know, nothing was about love. Nothing came from a place of wanting connection. I think back to the earliest moments where I felt this as a kid. I still have the memories of my first romantic interaction with a boy who treated me with kindness and made me laugh and took all my jokes with such a warm smile. I remember how safe I felt around someone of the same gender, and I questioned why this felt so wrong to me. You know, if I'm completely honest, over the years, I kind of accepted lust as a universal truth to what was acceptable of me, what my role had to be as a gay man, backed up with the material of time suggesting that this was a universal experience that almost every gay man was facing. You know, now, however, I paint a different picture. I paint a picture where my sexuality is my body's way of telling me that I crave connection. And it's a connection that was portrayed as lust in media. Exactly what gay men learned growing up. This is further emphasized by many of us being in the so-called closet in early adolescence. The idea that love meant hidden away, enjoying pleasures without attaching any form of feelings all rooted in fear, essentially. One impactful feeling I always remember that shaped my characters was how I felt exactly when I came out at 18. My first thought was, how am I going to be able to accept this and then showcase it to my mom in particular? At the time, I was terrified. At the time, I rejected any semblance of my identity because that meant changing the dynamics with the people that I loved around me. And no way did I want to do that. And partially also because my friends were all straight. So I wanted to be cool and badass and like play video games with them and not treat it any different, or play sports and not looked at this as the gay kid that is just going to make things like awkward and weird, when honestly, now that I look back, it's like that's not the case. And I would have beat them by far. I think what I learned since 18 when I first came out is that yes, being gay is a part of me. So it's like my competitiveness or my sense of empathy or even my passion for video games. I fear that admitting one thing would take away from something else that made me, me. And this is why I love Heated Rivalry so much. In this show, it doesn't mock gay men. It doesn't belittle them, or it doesn't put them into tropes. It utilizes a shared experience that so many young men have, and it tells a story people can relate to, and most importantly, be inspired by. We all want to be chosen. We all want to be seen. It's part of our biology. It's human nature. Another source material I've been reading is actually an article from the New Republic, What Will Gay Culture Look Like in 2025 by Alexander Shi. It reads, I'm 44 and I lead a very domestic gay life, a same-sex legal marriage with a child. At 20, if you told me this would have been my life, I've laughed at how ludicrous you were being. And this really hit me hard because I share this sentiment. I'm in my 20s with a heart developing to learn. I don't need to justify why I want the idea of love. That may look a little bit weird to the own people in my community. And honestly, it's perfectly normal to not understand what gay love means to you, especially if your entire childhood you never got to sit down with it. How can you expect gay men to understand a concept in which we hide away and mask for the need of having only physical touch? I sometimes get labeled as emotional or overly sensitive for wanting to unwrap why we click the way we do in our community. Lately, I've been thankful for the labels. Truthfully, my strength has always come from understanding myself, that I would never let side of who I want to be waver. In the past, blocking away my emotions made me feel strong and it made me feel in control. Now I understand accepting them is my greatest comfort, and honestly, nothing feels more badass than sitting down and saying, I feel what I feel. It doesn't make me less masculine. I'm just accepting how I feel, learning, I'm moving on. And that to me, that's true confidence. A show such as Heated Rivalry embodies these concepts, showing capable, strong characters keeping everything that makes them whole while accepting their vulnerability and their love for someone else. It's not weak, it doesn't make them sensitive, and it makes space for all different aspects of a strong gay relationship. It makes sense of the sexuality, of the fear, of the love, all in one, without shying away from being authentic on the delivery. To me, a successful gay story showcases not just the gay community, but everyone, that love can be hopeful and inspiring. Although we might not all share the same unique circumstances, what we do all share is just the desire to be seen. I'm very thankful for the show because, for one, thank you. Why do all gay stories up until this point that I personally have seen in media and have been very prevalent have all had such bad endings? Well, actually, except from that one, the red something, blue, white, something. You guys, you know which I'm talking, right? With the prince and the other guy, the party guy, and then they all. Yes, okay. Aside from that one, which I really did like too, but I felt that one was very. It was light. It was lighthearted, and I liked that. And it did have a very interesting meanings, but I don't feel like it conceptualized as much as Heated Rivalry did. And I'm still very thankful for it because not everything in gay media has to be fighting this battle. It can just be fun and nice and warm to the heart. So I'm still very thankful for a film such as that one. But I feel like Heated Rivalry took on a lot of different messages that haven't been explored as much and turned them around and made us question ourselves in terms of how gay relationships can actually be handled in media moving forward. I feel like a lot of people are now waking up to seeing just how many passionate members of the community stand for material such as this. It's like so refreshing that people are loving this, you know, and it's not just about the sexual scenes, although them butts be juicy. It's not just about that, however. It's more than that. It's like an understanding that this is what people crave. We want romance. We want stories that challenge their characters, that bring out the best parts of the characters and not just one-dimensional to why they act that way. Have characters in the story that you empathize with them. You understand the way they act. You understand the reason why it's not necessarily the easiest time for them to fully be themselves. I love that one line that the best friend of like the barista said about "you deserve sunshine too." That hit me so hard because I love that it wasn't just her trying to protect her best friend. It was her also showcasing to other people that they're also allowed and they should be able to be themselves. I love that. I love that. I feel like if I was a girl and I was with a gay man and I knew that they were hiding in the closet and I knew that it was uncomfortable for them to come out, that is the exact same line I would use, because it captures feeling I feel like a lot of gay men had in their early childhood when they felt that they had no choice but to hide away and that people weren't going to be willing to ever accept them and that they could never live openly and truthfully to themselves. Now, another beautiful scene in my opinion is I like the fact that these characters didn't automatically fall in love, and I like that it did start off as a very promiscuous, just casual thing. I think that was a beautiful thing to showcase because it's very authentic to how relationships in the gay community are currently. You know, hookup culture is still very prevalent and you still have all these dominant figures only wanting to do that, and I think there's a reason for just wanting to do it. And I think this extends outside of just the gay community, a sense of safety and only wanting to be with people as opposed to getting uncomfortable with chasing something more, that's just more than that, out of fear of getting hurt, out of fear of being uncomfortable. I appreciate how that is being showcased, how these characters were willing to make that progress and were willing to make that outside of who they think they were, because they understood that the deeper meaning and the deeper connection they had with each other was the thing that they actually craved. I think another thing that I absolutely love, and I think it was genius, is showcasing another gay couple coming out on TV globally, having the guts to be able to do that in the same kind of hemisphere that they're involved, that the two main characters are involved. Watching them see that and then realize and being inspired and having hope with that was peak, because that creates the exact loop that I wish I had during my childhood, and I know so many gay men wish they had during their childhood. Just the representation that actually makes such a significance, and wanting to make people be themselves, and seeing how much brightness and how much love can be on the other side waiting for you if you take that uncomfortable next step and say, I'll be exactly who I am. Peak. I'm still recovering. And the song choice. Oh, the song when the lyrics started saying like something about the eyes and about like you being the sunlight. Genius. And I didn't even catch that. I was so like, I was paying attention to the scene and I didn't even capture what the lyrics were saying. It just felt correct. Everything, the build up, the character, the emotional weight, you know, like the understanding you had towards why the characters reacted the way they did. It just made complete sense. You understood why he picked up the phone right away after realizing that, after being inspired. You understood exactly why he accepted to go with him on vacation. So many people inspired by this TV show. It's crazy. It's like wild to see how many people are being inspired. And I think it's gonna pick up now because people are gonna see how much potential there is in stories involving romance and involving like just connection in the gay community, that this is just gonna become the next normal thing. And I absolutely adore it. I am here for this era of showcasing more than just stereotypical trope qualities to gay men and queer people in general. I stand for it. Do more of it. We want exactly this type of content, and keep making it and keep showing the complexities. This is exactly what the people want. Just speed up on the next season, because I think all the fans, myself included, we're all a little bit crazy for new material to talk about, digest, and Shane is so hot. Oh, peace out. That was the video. Stay tuned for the next one.